Hey guys, happy Sunday. I am super excited. So this is video 3 of 6 that we're doing in our pop-up series about relationships. And it is just me. Kevin and I are kind of playing with a couple different ways to do some of our videos, and we have been talking about splitting up and doing videos more from like the feminine and the masculine perspective because we think that it could benefit our clients, and we both have done solo videos and they've gone really well. So this is going to be about breaking boredom in relationships, and this is going to be from the feminine side, divine feminine. And this doesn't necessarily mean that this is just for like the women. It's all of us hold feminine and masculine within us, and there are just some topics that I feel like it's good to get both sides, more of the feminine side, more of the masculine side. So let's get down to it. Phoenix is asleep in the other room, so I may have to excuse myself if he wakes up, but we're gonna hope he sleeps through this little one. Okay, breaking boredom in relationships. So we all know that once you're in a relationship, every couple kind of goes in and out of this ebb and flow of fairy tale, sexy lust, always wanting to be with your partner, everything's amazing, to being comfortable. And a lot of times when we get to that point where we're comfortable and where things aren't always like new and exciting anymore, a lot of us get bored. A lot of us start to self-sabotage in relationships. A lot of us start to feel like, oh, maybe this isn't my person because we're not having fun like we used to, and all of that. When in reality, there's some steps to take before you kind of jump the gun into, we're not supposed to be together, this isn't working, I'm bored, I'm not happy. So the first thing I would say, and the first thing that I say to any of my friends or my clients when we talk about relationships, and they're like, oh, I'm just so bored, is why don't we turn inward? Because in all of our relationships, it's really easy to like point the finger and be like, well, they're not fun anymore and they don't do anything and they. But a big thing about growing in this life and in your relationships is turning in. So let's start looking at ourselves. Why are we bored? Are we bored because we're not going out and doing as many fun things? Are we bored because it's just gotten really comfortable and those things that used to be new and exciting aren't new and exciting anymore? So when I tell people, look inward, they're like, well, what does that mean? Like, how is that going to change anything? So what lights you up? What are you passionate about? What do you miss doing? Maybe it's something you haven't even done in your relationship. Do you like to do arts and crafts? Do you like to go dancing? Do you like to paint pottery? Do you like to read? Figure out what it is. Like, sit down with yourself with a pen and paper and like make a list. Like, what do I like to do? And then take that list and think about things you can do with your partner that maybe you haven't done before. And if you have, think of a new fun way to do them. Something that I really love to do is arts and crafts. And Kevin has been really good about jumping on board with anything I want. I want to do vision boards. I want to paint more. I want to do whatever. And he's totally on board. And your partner, 9 times out of 10, is going to be like, yeah, let's do it. Because in a relationship, it's about feeding each other, and we can't always look to our partner to feed that need. And for me, sometimes I struggle with being that person who just always wants to make everybody else happy. So sometimes Kevin will be like, well, what do you need? What do you want? And I'm like, I don't really know what I want. So then I have to go back and I have to turn everything in and think like, what do I need? Like, what does light me up? Do I want to go out dancing more? Do I want to do more crafts? Do I need to do yoga? Should we go do yoga together? So these are things that, like, before you even come to your partner, maybe sit with yourself and be like, what do I need? What lights me up? How can I fix the boredom instead of just throwing it all on my partner and hoping that they figure it out? Because boy, do I love the divine masculine, but sometimes they just can't get in our heads. Most of the times they can't get in our heads. So we need to help them. And there's nothing wrong with telling your partner what you want and what you need, and then doing stuff together. So the first thing I'm going to say on this whole thing is looking inward and figuring out what lights you up. And if you don't know what lights you up, maybe like Google it. Fun stuff to do with your partner. Google's great. There's like a billion things. The second thing, breaking boredom, is I call them love bombs, and it's one of my favorite things to do when I feel that we need amped up, or maybe we've just gone through like a little bit of a valley and things have been really hard and I just want Kevin to feel the love. And I love to do presents and gifts and surprises. So I call them love bombs. You can call them like mini surprises or whatever. One of them that I did, I actually saw an idea on Pinterest and then I personalized it. So I went and bought balloons and I like started at our front door and took the balloons all the way back to the bedroom, and on each balloon I like hung up a little picture, and then on the back I had notes on some of them, and I had like a candy trail and left this really sweet note basically just like telling him how much I loved him and how much I appreciated him and that I'm proud of him for getting through, you know, all the work that we'd been doing with our current struggle that we were going through, and just that I'm really grateful that he's my partner. And he like called me in tears and he's like, oh my God, this is like the sweetest thing ever. And it took me like maybe an hour to like go get the balloons, get the photos printed, get everything put up, but it was so worth it. And it's something that I enjoyed doing. It was something really cool to see him enjoy. So maybe like think of little surprises or little love bombs that you can do. Sometimes I'll go and I'll like write little notes on his car and like stick them on his mirror, or I'll get like a dry erase pen and I'll write on his like rear view mirrors like love you or hi handsome, or little things like that that don't even really cost that much money, but they're just the thought. And it's like every time they get in their car, they're like, that's so sweet to look at. The third thing is reminding, sorry, I've got alerts going off on my phone. Reminding your partner that they matter. And I think when we're in relationships, a lot of times we think like we don't need to give that reassurance, but we do. Like there's no reason that because you've been with someone for a year, 2 years, 10 years, that they don't need that reassurance that they matter. And it's really amazing because I think a lot of times people feel like stuck and caged and comfortable and feeling like their relationship is like in this rut, when in reality there's just a lot of things missing, like affection, there's a lot of passion missing, there's that reassurance that was there in the beginning that we all know we do. You know, we tell them like little texts and we put them little notes, whatever it might be. Like in the beginning we love bomb people normally, and we're like, oh my gosh, you're amazing and thank you for showing up. And then all of a sudden like we stop doing it. And we wonder why we end up in these places where we aren't even kissing each other when we walk in the door anymore. We aren't making the other one dinner. We aren't sending them those little notes of gratitude. And it's something that is very conscious, because if you aren't conscious about it, it's super easy to get comfortable. Like they've already heard all that. You've already showed them all your cards. Like there's nothing coming up anymore that's really triggering you to have to do that. But I tell you, like, people ask how Kevin and I get to where we are and how we get through a lot of things. We are so conscious about every day. Every single day, we're reminding each other, I'm grateful for you. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for showing up for me. And it just creates this constant reminder that you matter. And that is also what starts to pull that partner from just another person to the person that's really going to be there with you for the rest of your life and that's going to be there for you. So remember to tell them that they matter, send them little notes, and watch what happens. Like relationships change dramatically when you start to do that, and when you start to like show appreciation and gratitude, and you're putting it out there to the universe, and then it's going to keep bringing all this awesome good stuff back to you. Hi Jessica. I'm horrible with telling him in person, but no problem if I write it out. He hates that. Listen, that's me, okay? Especially like if we've been in any sort of discord, I am the first person to be like really quiet when I know I need to just like give him love and maybe apologize if I've been in a bad mood, but I do that better when I do write or when I text. And I have a notebook sitting in front of me right now with like little notes on it, but it is filled with I love yous and thank yous and gratitude. And honestly, like that's something that Kevin and I have been very open about, and it's something that we have to understand about the other person. Relationships are understanding the other person. Even if it's not necessarily something you love, you'll get there. And I'm getting way better telling him in person now, and it just feels kind of uncomfortable, but after you do it so many times, it starts to feel less uncomfortable. But just tell him like, hey, I'm trying to show up for you and I'm trying to tell you how I feel, and right now, like, doing it face to face isn't, I'm not in that space yet, but I'll get there. You know, just remind him, because believe me, girl, I totally feel you. I have been there. That is me. I'm getting better. It just takes work. We talk about it all the time, you know, do the work. So keep showing up however you can show up, whether it's a text or a note, and eventually like push yourself to start saying that to his face, and it's gonna feel so much easier. It's also about showing up and being vulnerable. Like, it doesn't feel good to do something that isn't comfortable, and it's weird that like explaining emotion to your partner doesn't feel comfortable sometimes, but it doesn't, and that's something deeper within us that we have to look at. But just keep working, you'll get there. I totally understand that. Okay, what else? I have my little notes here. 4, so step out of your comfort zone. We've been talking about this, like we fall into comfort. Something that I really love to do is dance. I've really wanted to get back into like salsa and ballroom. Kevin is not the biggest person to be like jumping on the dance floor, but he knew there was a salsa night I wanted to go to, and so we went, and it was amazing, and I had so much fun, and he ended up having a lot of fun, but it was totally out of our comfort zone, and it was something that we don't normally do, and it was cool for him to step up and be like, yeah, let's do it, let's go do salsa, and for me to go out, and I'm almost 6.5 months pregnant now, so that was a little different for me, because, you know, normally I'm not going out to the bars where they teach salsa lessons pregnant, but I was like, whatever, it's gonna be fun, and we did. We had a blast, and it was totally out of both of our comfort zones with where we're at right now, and it was really fun. So think of something that's out of your comfort zone and go do it together. Go be vulnerable together, because in that vulnerable space you find comfort in each other, and that's a cool like flip of the dynamic too. The 5th thing I was gonna bring up was staycations or vacations, wherever you're financially at or wherever you can be at. I know some of us have kids and it's hard sometimes to get away without them, but in your relationship, especially if you're a parent, you've got to find the time to like have alone time. We are very, very blessed that we have help here, my family, Tyler, Kevin's family. So when we need alone time, we have a lot of outlets. I know there's a lot of parents and a lot of people who don't have outlets for their kids, but I strongly, strongly push you guys to find somebody, even if it's just for dinner. You know, ask anybody who you're comfortable with the kids being with, like, hey, I really need to start doing this bi-weekly, even once a month. If you could do it every week, it's amazing. But just an hour or 2 hours with your partner where you guys can just focus on each other. And if you can take a weekend or like a night, an overnight, go get a hotel, like go on Hotwire and do like whatever's in your budget, $60, $70 hotel. Do the Hotwire hot deal. That's what I've done before, and you get a cool hotel that's normally like sometimes $200, and like order pizza in the hotel room, like spend time together, or like get dressed up and go out. If you can take a vacation, cool, like do something that you guys both want to do. I know Kevin and I kind of have like bucket lists of places we want to go because we love to travel. So if you guys like to travel, like start making a list of places you want to go, things you want to do, and like when you've got the opportunity and you've got the money available to do it, put it on like the calendar. Be like, let's do this. I found flights, I found hotel, build the vacation, and you guys are going to get so excited about something to look forward to. So give yourself something to look forward to. A mini vacation, a little staycation at home, you know, whatever works. But I hope these helped you guys. I wanted to put out, 5 things to help break the boredom and the monotony in the relationship. This is, like I said in the beginning, video 3 of 6. So we're going to be with you guys tomorrow as well. We're super excited. We've gotten some great feedback and messages. So thank you guys so much. Please, if this resonates with you, please hashtag on here that you watched either live or replay. You guys can tag people, you can share the video, like our page, and if you guys want to reach out and take a part of our half off our coaching sessions, we only have a couple spots left, and I'd love to have you guys. We are doing couples coaching and we are doing singles coaching. If you guys want details, message us on our page. I love you. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend, amazing Sunday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.